All right, how's everyone doing?
Good, how about you?
Doing good. Y'all in the back, don't mind coming to the front. When everybody get close together, we all family. What's going on, Mark? How you doing, bro?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, doing good, brother. Good to see you. All right. What session did y'all go to for the first one?
Financial left with Kevin Lyles.
Okay, cool stuff. Anybody else? Where'd y'all go?
Stepping out of your father's shop. I am a man later on.
Nice, good stuff, man. I was like, man, some of these panels, I wish I could go sit in. If I wasn't speaking, I'd be in them. It was super cool. Well, hey, I want to appreciate y'all coming to this one. The discussion today is going to be on 6-figure salaries, 7-figure heart, giving back while finding fulfillment. It's a pleasure, really, for me to be here and be kind of speaking to y'all. The way I do kind of my presentations is very interactive. So I'm going to ask for feedback, ask for questions. I don't want it to be a one-way discussion. I want it to be a dialogue where we're talking and chatting. So it'll be a little piece that I'm going to talk on, some things I'm going to get your own kind of feedback and input on. So I'm going to give you a little bit about myself. I'm a 28-year-old entrepreneur. I'm the executive director and founder of the BLF Foundation, a 501c3 nonprofit that works with college students in helping them to develop emotional intelligence and soft skills so they can find success not only in college, but also into corporate careers and entrepreneurship. I'm originally from Baytown, Texas. It's right outside of Houston, Texas. If you go through, I-10 goes right through the city. So if you ever go to Beaumont, Louisiana, get some boudin, go say hi to my folks when you stop by. I'm an Austin resident of 10 years, just made 10 years this year. It's been crazy when I think about the amount of time that I've been in Austin. I traveled to 17 countries in the last 3 years, but really more than anything, it's helped me to understand how different cultures and different environments believe giving back is a part of essentialism for their life. And it's really helping to shape the things that I do when I'm here in the States, but also how I run my foundation from really drawing those principles and ideals. The last year, the foundation has given over $30,000 in support and mentorship aid to supporting college students. So that's a little bit about myself. Now, there are 3 main keys to giving back that I'm going to focus on today. The first one is sowing your seeds now, but reaping the benefits later. The second piece is building a team dream, not a one-man show. And the third is going to be propel someone to your stage. So, we'll first focus on sowing your seeds now and reaping the benefits later. As I like to call it, you have to have a vision of your future. Tell me, what are some of y'all's visions for your life? The things you want to accomplish, things you want to do, things you want to see, and etc.
I like to travel. Young man, grow my business. That's always been my passion, is entrepreneurship. But my purpose is giving back. So that's the reason why I attended your class. And just showing my peers and the youth, how I overcame my struggles and turned my frustration into success. So that's my vision, my long-term goal.
Nice. Tell me about your business.
I own a valet trash company here in Austin, Texas. We have contracts from Temple to San Marcos here in Austin, and we're looking to expand in different states as well, as far as Georgia and back where I'm from in Ohio.
Good stuff, brother. Good stuff.
I'm sort of living my future. I spent 40 years pretty much in state government as a executive.
Okay.
And retired from that, and now I'm a manager at the African American Youth Harvest Foundation.
Awesome.
Yeah, right here in Austin. We're also 501c3, do many of the things that you're talking about, all the mentoring and things working with youth and families as well. In our community, we are a one-stop resource shop. People need anything, they come and see us. If we don't do it, we know somebody who does. So we wanted to make sure that we expose our community to all the resources that are available to them.
Mm-hmm. That's so important. I love the work that y'all do.
I haven't seen Deputy Commissioner Moore in quite some time. He won't tell us, but he at one time was the highest ranking black non-elected official in the state of Texas. but since he won, I will. My dream would be to able to help people understand the importance of engaging in democracy, because simply it works best when everyone is engaged. We're simply not at this point.
It's a very important dream and very important vision that we need right now. So true. Anybody else?
I would just say, more or less for me, I'm kind of living my dream in a sense. I mean, coming from the background I come from, it's more or less joining the military, even after my own family members tell me that, oh, it's not for a black man or anything like that. But for me, it was the perfect spot for me, because it taught me leadership, it taught me guidance, and it taught me a really work ethic, which I trained kind of inspire over to the kids that I work with now with Gary Job Corps. And I'm trying to mentor them in order to be able to go out there and succeed, and show them, hey, look, if you put your mind to it, you can actually make things happen, but you got to have the will and the want to. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something.
That's right.
Because you're the only one to stop you. So, the biggest thing is that I put that towards my kids, and I'm investing in my son right now, trying to get both of them to go to college, but college not for everyone. So I got one that's out of college right now, so he's trying to find his way, find a job and all this other stuff, and the other one, he's not sitting at home, not in my house. I tell you that much.
Right?
I mean, hey, but the thing about it is, sometimes, you just gotta let them out there on their own, because that's the only way they're gonna learn. You can't hold their hand the whole time, all the way through. You can only do so much, but always be there for them. So, I mean, in a sense, it's just me and the wife, and we're sitting at home chilling. I go to work, she go to work. I'm living a life.
Damn, that's the life, brother. Thank you so much for your service and being a good father. Man, when I think about my vision was very simple. I really wanted the opportunity to be able to excel in entrepreneurship, but also at the same time be able to give back in the communities. And what was so pivotal and important for me was building the foundation as a way to give thanks to every person who played a part in my life. There were so many messages, so many things that I learned from different mentors, the principals, teachers, community leaders, business owners that poured into me. And as I always say, the village raised me as a child. And if I hadn't had that village, ain't no telling where I'd be. But the most important thing that I thought that I did was I made the 2 scholarships that I give every year in the BLF Foundation in my parents' name. I wanted to give them their flowers before they died. And it's something that I get to say, thank you, Mom and Dad, for the things that you've done for me. And I still stay true to that vision. Launched the foundation, was able to be able to give back and support these students, been able to give out scholarships, but most importantly, be able to honor the people who've really been impacted my life, and also take those lessons and teach somebody else so I can help bring somebody behind me. So the most important thing that I'm going to tell you to do is build your vision. But when you build your vision, you have to develop your execution plan. Each step that you take needs to get you closer to the end goal. If you have a 5-year plan, you need to figure out what you need to do in 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year to ultimately get to that end result. And a lot of times when building our vision, we don't really develop our execution. And that's where dreams stall. So we need to always make sure that we're investing our time and energy and efforts into things that are helping us to execute on the vision that we want to see accomplished. Every day is a little iterative step, as I always call it, towards the end goal. Now, things going to happen in life that sometimes can derail a vision or a dream, or it can prevent a vision or a dream, or it can question, am I doing anything for vision and dream? For myself, looking every day on the news and seeing another African-American male who may have been shot or killed, it touches me. It hurts me. It pains me. Because it's like there's one more student that I could have helped. There's one more person I could have been a mentor to. There was one more person that I should have been making sure they didn't end up in the predicament they did. And sometimes the question is, am I doing enough? Am I working hard enough? Do I even have articulate vision? But sometimes the hard part is that as you're sowing the seeds to later reap the benefit, the dream that you have will have maximum impact as you accomplish it. Whereas I could probably do a fundraiser and may raise a couple $100 to be able to go out and support somebody. But along the way, I'm still helping people. But when I get to the actual maximum of my dream, I may be able to give out $50,000 in aid that helps multiple families. And sometimes it's a trade-off that's hard to kind of make that decision. Because you want to be able to help now, but you also want to be able to give the maximum help that you have. And when you're focused into doing the things that are important to accomplishing the dream, that's going to really help you to be able to do things in what I call your zone of genius, where you have your excellence. You're going to find excellence and be able to do more with your focus. If we're unfocused and just doing 1,000 things in life, or as we call it, the jack of all trades, we really don't master anything. But through mastery, that's where we find our maximum impact. But as I say, it's a trade-off, because you got to find a way to be able to kind of help now, but sometimes delay gratification and say, you know what, I'm going to do the best that I can now, but I'm focused on my dream and the vision of where I'm going to really make the maximum impact of where I want to change. Now, most people think success is a linear process. You decide, you go, you succeed. That's how it works, right? Or you decide and go and fail. One of the two. But the truth is that success isn't linear at all whatsoever. Sometimes you can do something and succeed right away. Sometimes you're going to make 5, 6 failures. If I told you to stick a fork in the electrical outlet over there, you're going to learn very quickly that you're going to get shocked. You're going to find success in not doing that again. But if I told you to save your money without giving you sometimes the resources you need, you might put money in your bank account and then overdraft over at brunch or eating food or such like that. And you learn, okay, I don't need to spend that much money. So I make a budget, and then you sign up for some bills. And next thing you know, you have more bills than you have income. Then you overdraft again. So you made the mistake twice. But maybe after a couple of times, hopefully, you understand a little bit better about budgeting and the budgeting process. So the one thing I always say is that winners always succeed, and the failures always fail to succeed. And the reason why is because the winners learn from mistakes. We should embrace the fact that sometimes we may have failure in the dream and the vision. And we may not be able to do the things we want to do, but learn from them. Take it as an opportunity to learn from mistakes, learn from the failures, to be able to apply those learnings to help you ultimately get to the success that you're looking for. Don't let failure ever be your final destination. Don't let it be the end of your book. Write a new chapter. Let it be something that is a stepping stool that helps you to elevate to the next thing that you want to find. Now, the 2 specific people that I want to talk about today that really embodied being able to sow a seed early and reaping the benefit later. How many of y'all know this brother right here?
He's a black billionaire. I forgot his name, but he's a billionaire.
That's right, he's a billionaire. This is Robert Smith. He's the founder of Vista Equity Partners. It's a private equity firm that's here in Austin. Now, why he's so important is he's the second richest African American in the United States. Only second to Oprah, and the gap between him and Oprah ain't that large. It's only about 300 million. He's worth
I can't search my
Sorry, my watch. He's worth about $2.5 billion. Oprah's worth about 2.8. Now, this brother is in our backyard. A lot of people don't even know that. I don't know where you can find him. If you do, let me know. I'm go talk to his brother. But what's important about him is that he came from humble beginnings. Grew up in Colorado. Went to school, had 2 parents. When he was in high school, he tried to get an internship for a job for college careers and was persistent enough to get that internship. He learned about digital systems. He ended up graduating with an engineering degree, ended up working in corporate America, went back to school, got his bachelor's degree in business, and then went to work for Goldman Sachs. Went to work for Goldman Sachs before they IPO'd. And when they IPO'd, he decided to quit his job and build his equity firm. People told him he was crazy. People told him that his vision, his dream, his family members, his friends, his mentors said, "You've lost your mind." They said he didn't know what he was doing. Fast forward 15 years later, he has one of the top equity firms in the United States. They invest in these probably no-name software companies and build them through turnkey management principles into amazing companies that are worth billions and billions of dollars, producing all kinds of unicorns that IPO. And that's how he was able to catapult into his net worth into $2.5 billion. Now, what a lot of people don't know is he also runs a foundation. He runs a foundation helping students and kids and families to be able to get access to education and access to financial tools to be able to find better wealth. So he kept his vision of being able to be a titan when it comes to Wall Street and the business building, but also use it as a platform to be able to give back and support others. He sowed his seeds, he put in the time and effort, but he most importantly reaped the benefits so that he could be able to help the maximum number of people that he could help. And for that, this is a prime example of what we should do for our own lives as well. And during the way to 15 years, I know he also did help in other ways. But don't forget the platform that you ever have as you're building your vision and building your dream. Second person is somebody that I think a lot of people know. How many LeBron fans do we have here? All right. So the rest of y'all must be Golden State fans, huh? Not even close? Who's your team?
I'm a Spurs fan.
Spurs fan, okay.
I'll be hating y'all more. It's not gonna change.
I like the Spurs.
You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. You know,
I'm a Spurs fan.
Right.
I don't like the Cavs. I like LeBron James.
Now, I know LeBron James don't like the Spurs because they stopped him from getting a couple rings.
You gotta like LeBron.
You gotta like LeBron.
I'm not gonna say my favorite team.
Hold up, you gotta say it now. You just said that.
Knicks.
Okay. I wasn't expecting that one.
Only they Boston.
Right?
I know that's right.
But the reason why I say LeBron James is because as a kid, we knew he was destined for success. When he was in high school, they already were telling his freshman year, they were saying, yeah, he's going to be the #1 draft pick. They knew this. This man was going to be set up for life. He was supposed to be the heir to Jordan in the throne. They're supposed to say he's the best basketball player in the world. And even as he has all the success, all his accolades, he always talks about himself as a kid from Akron, Ohio. That's how he refers to himself. Go check his website, LebronJames.com. In interviews, I'm just a kid from Akron, Ohio. Despite having a $1 billion lifetime contract with Nike, despite having one of the most lucrative contracts in the NBA, he always never forgets his humble roots. And it's so important to him that throughout the last 14 years of his career, he has made it a point to be able to give back and support communities that were underserved. Giving $41 million to the University of Akron, being able to give all types of scholarship and tuition assistance. But most importantly, he went back home, used his platform to be able to go out and help others. Now, he could have done some of those things when he was in his young years in high school, but most importantly, look at the stage that he has now and how much more he's able to do. He's also taken people in his community and put them in business positions to help them sustain businesses. But it took him having to execute the full vision of his life and doing everything that he wanted to do or aspired to do and helping him to really get the maximum impact. But along the way, he still made it. He made some mistakes here and there. He shouldn't have left Miami. I'm just saying. That's my team. Well, it was my team until they let go of Dwayne Wade. But, he's always taken an opportunity to really go give back and learn from everything that he's done. And this is 2 examples of ways that you can sow your seed now and reap the benefit later. So here's my takeaways for sowing your seeds. Develop a vision for your life. Give back while building your vision. Don't look for the immediate gratification all the time. But most importantly, stay focused on the goal, because at the end of your journey and of executing your vision, you're going to be able to make a massive impact that only you could have done through mastering excellence. Now, the second piece that I'm going to talk about is building a team dream, not a one-man show. When it comes to success, there are a couple of different components. You got to have goals, got to have a vision, got to have the right skill set, but most importantly, it's a really big piece. When you find success, it's all part of teamwork. So, tell me a time that you've done something completely by yourself with no help and nobody else was there to support you, mentor you, give you guidance, suggestions, etc.
The time that I made a very bad investment that backfired on me.
So, you mind expounding a little bit more on that investment?
Well, I did not miss what you said about making a decision on your own without anyone's help.
Mm-hmm.
The one time that I did that without consulting anyone, I fell flat on my face, is what I'm saying.
And the most important thing is that if you had gone and asked people, you think you would have been able to avoid it.
If only I had asked. Exactly.
And sometimes they say, my mom always used to say, wisdom is either bought or borrowed. And sometimes it's very expensive to buy. So I always try to find ways, can I borrow wisdom? Can I find from other people? But most importantly, teamwork helps you to execute your vision and it helps you to be able to give back. You can make an impact by yourself and you can do great. But as I've learned, the many mentors I have in my program that help work with my students are really the reason why the program's been a success. It's not been because of anything mean. And they say all the time, like, oh, you're winning awards for this, that, and the other. I'm like, no, it's a team that built this vision. It's a team that built this house that's impacting students. It's not me. It's not my works. And everything you're going to do in life, you're going to find that to find the maximum amount of success, you got to build a team, a strong team. Complete the dream, build the team to win. Now, most startups fail in 5 years. And 90% of the startups fail usually because of a couple different reasons, specifically for building a business. First one is they have no consistent vision. They're not exactly sure what they're trying to solve why they're trying to solve it, and why you should even care. Second piece is that they have a failure to adapt. How many of y'all have a BlackBerry phone? 10 years ago, BlackBerry was the phone to have.
Sidekick too.
Man, that was my phone right there. I love the Sidekick. I was a Sidekick thing. I had every Sidekick phone.
Every sidekick phone, yeah.
And then 10 years ago, the iPhone came out. And in fact, the iPhone has changed everything. How many of y'all remember when we used to have phones with keyboards? Now, we don't have phones with keyboards. Our phones have a one-touch screen. In fact, somebody was telling me the last session that BlackBerry built a phone with a keyboard about 2 months ago. I'm like, where was it on the news? They failed to adapt. That company was selling millions and millions and millions of phones. They were the number one phone company. And then they didn't believe that Apple coming out with this touchscreen phone was going to be this monumental thing. And now look at where they exist now. They don't make the billions of dollars they make anymore. They're barely scrapping to stay alive, selling off every part of the business they possibly could for many years just to be able to make headcount, losing over 40 to 60% of their staff. When you fail to adapt and fail to adjust to what's happening in your surroundings, you find failure in the things that you're doing.
Would you say IBM sort of did that at one point? They were continued to build these giant computers and didn't really look at the PCs as something that was viable, and they almost lost all of their market share as a result of it.
They got smart when they decided to sell off their hardware business, and they focused on software, and they found their margins. And so that was a good example of them learning from their failures, because for a long time they were going down the exact same path and focusing on building hardware. And now you look at the company now, it's a company that's been around for over 100 years, that's found their new ways of technology and integration into people's lives. They've gone into consulting using their expertise from like building hardware, building digital solutions like Watson, all these types of things that have really helped them to really be able to turn their whole business around. Now, they've had some quarters where they didn't have the revenue goals and targets that Wall Street has, but Wall Street's another story. But it's a good example of them adapting to what's going on. I mean, they have partnerships with Apple, partnerships with so many different companies. They've gone into social media, and they've now become one of the experts in the field in social media, from tools into just kind of thought process and thought leadership, when social media wasn't around but 6 years ago. It's really hard to kind of make yourself know and become a leader, but they use their expertise to do it. That was a great example of them learning how to adapt. Another thing that's important is mentorship. Mentorship, and applies to so many different ways of your life. You need to have a mentor in business. Somebody can teach you and say, hey, here's right from wrong. Here's what I learned from my mistakes and failures. That's why a lot of companies are getting funding from VCs, because they want to find the VC that helps invest in their vision, but also can mentor them along the way. Sometimes they're looking for the angel investor that has the right connections that can connect them to the right person to mentor. But mentorship doesn't apply just to business. It applies to your life. In relationships, you have a mentor, a marriage mentor. When it comes to spiritual development and growth, I hope that you have a mentor. When it comes to finances, I hope you have a mentor. When it comes to anything that you're doing in life, there's always somebody that you can talk to that can help give you wisdom, guidance, and access to information that you don't have to make the mistake to go find out. And for a lot of businesses, they don't seek that mentorship. So they can learn, hey, don't structure your business this way. Structure your packages this way. If you do this, this is the result you're going to get. You're probably not going to be as satisfied. So this is how I would recommend doing things to you. So find mentorship is important for startups. But last but not least, one of the most important reasons why a lot of businesses crash is because a lot of African Americans are solopreneurs. I mean, they do it all by themselves. They don't build a team. And when it gets too heavy, they're the finance person, they're the customer service, they're the sales, they're the marketing, they're the first face you talk to. In fact, the burden weighs on them. And it weighs on them so much that maybe they may have a mental breakdown, or maybe that they may get stressed out, or maybe they can't do as much as they can do. So it's important to build a team because it helps you to balance and find success. The average African-American firm has receipts of $44,000 annually. So mom and pop shops, other businesses that you may know that are kind of running by themselves, this is probably how much they make in a year's time. So imagine how much more potential they could have if they built a team, where they didn't have to handle all pieces of the day. When they were doing tasks in the day, as I call it, the $1 million task, you want to spend your time doing things that produce $1 million results, not tasks that give you a $10 return. But you can't do that unless you have a team of people that each operate on their own excellence. Don't limit your potential by trying to do things all by yourself. Build your team so that you can find success. Now, one of the things I like in team building is what I call, you want to put people in their zone of genius. The zone of genius is something that they're exceptional at. No one does it quite like you. You ever met a person that's just gifted or talented, and you're just like, that brother there, ain't nobody can touch him. LeBron James on the basketball court. Tiger Woods in his heyday on golf court. Just people in your community. The pastor that preaches so well that just communicates messages. Put people in their zone of genius. You can put them in their zone of excellence. It's something that they're highly skilled at. Not many people do it better. But for the maximum results, you want to put them in their zone of genius. You can build a team of people with their zone of competence. Average at it. Something that people do it better, but they can do it okay. But you definitely don't want to build a team where you're putting people in the zone of incompetence. Not good at it. Many people can do this better. When you build a team of people in their zone of genius, you're going to see results like you ain't never imagined. I mean, I've seen it through my foundation, through the mentors that I had that really operate in different ways and give them jurisdiction to do certain things on behalf of the foundation, allowing them to operate in things that they naturally feel best at, and watching it really, really succeed. So the most important thing is that you have to ask for help. It doesn't make you a failure if you ask. It's important that we try to find a lending hand that can help us. Because the most important thing is when we find help, iron sharpens iron. We can't get better unless we do it together. And there's so many different people that can help you become the best person that you can be. You have a team of people that you sometimes don't even realize. It's the small things they do. It can be your family. It can be the encouraging words that they say. Now, they didn't help you build the business plan, but they told you, I believe in you. They told you that I know you're going to be successful. They told you that, you know what, you've been built for this. They may not understand everything you do, but just that encouraging word can be enough for you to go back home and work a little bit harder toward the goals and dreams that you want to accomplish. It could be your friends. They come out and celebrate you. They come out to support. They send you little text messages of inspiration. It could be they actually build with you. It can be your business coworkers. It can be your mentors. It can be community leaders. It can be other business owners. It could be any religious affiliations that you may have. But most of us sometimes forget the people that play a part in our life. As I think about it, they may not have done everything for me, but everything that people do means a lot to me, and it does a lot for me. So I have to remember everything, whether it be the person that gave me that one piece of advice, maybe unrelated to business, but it's just something that I can apply. Or it may be the family member that just said, you know what, I'm here to support you. Here's $5 towards the goal. Every person plays a part in your life and is a part of your team. And don't ever discount the team. Don't ever take people for granted, because they help keep you pumping alive and help you be able to go out and make the best impact that you can be. How many of y'all remember Kevin Durant winning MVP?
His mom, yeah.
And what was the first thing that he gave thanks to?
Mom.
His mom. He said, my mom is my MVP. She was the one who helped me. She's at every single game. Loudest person in a stadium of probably tens of thousands of people. But you're gonna see his mama, and you're gonna hear his mama too. She loud on those calls, and the ref don't give him the right play. So, but that's his team member. That's one of his biggest supporters. Now, she didn't get on the court, I don't think, and hooped with him like that, but she was there supporting him, and he never forgot that. And it's so important that we don't forget those people, because they all help us to achieve the ultimate goal and the ultimate passion and vision that we have in our life. So don't take those people for granted. Keys that I want you to take away for building a team. Articulate your goal to others. Let other people know what you're working on, let other people that you want to accomplish, because that's the only way you can get help. Don't go after the dream by yourself. Share it with others, because together we can help make your dream the best it can be, help articulate the vision. Me starting my foundation started with a conversation with a friend of mine over chicken and waffles. And I told her, I really want to build this foundation. I want to get these scholarships back in my parents' name. I want to be able to do this mentorship program. I just feel like I have to wait till I'm 40 and successful. And she said, why wait? I was like, I didn't have nothing to say. She's like, why wait? Do it now. And if I hadn't told her, I would have waited. And in fact, when I was looking for a mentor, who was the first person to sign up? She was. And she helped me to be able to support one of my most amazing students in the program, who went through some very tough ordeals and came out on top. I'm very proud of today. But none of that would have happened if I hadn't had the team, if I hadn't talked about it. Ask for help. People can help you reach your goals and mutually find success. It was important for her to be able to give back to the community, and she was looking for a vehicle to do it. And she liked the fact that I was trying to build this program in a specific way and wanted to be a part of that vision and dream. Develop your support strategy to maximize your impact. So find the support, find the people that can help, find the people that help you build the team so that you can find success. But most importantly, trust the process you're going to go through as you find a way to maximize your vision, building a team so that you can maximize the impact that you can make on others. Now, the last point that I'm going to give to you today is propel someone to your stage. You got the vision, you've built the team, you're finding success, but the most important thing in giving back is you got to take somebody else from behind. You got to lend that helping hand and pick somebody else up. So it's important for you to take time to go mentor or go touch the lives of somebody else and teach them what you know. History matters. We learn from our mistakes. We learn from the past. But if we don't share the history, we'll continue to make the same mistakes over and over again because we don't have any understanding of what preceded us. I like seeing pictures like this because I like seeing people that work together, that share and develop and build together. Because the most important thing is that we can learn from each other, whether it be successes or mistakes and failures. Now, I like the word mistakes, but I like putting it with a little bit of salt. Mistakes plus correction equals learning. So when you make a mistake, it's not the end of your story. Don't let that to be the final chapter of your book. Let it be the opportunity to sit back and reflect and say, why did I arrive at where I arrived at? What caused this to happen? What led me to get to this point? And once you understand that, it helps you to get a learning that you can apply because even though you may have failed the test the first time, that test is going to come back to you. You're going to have a second opportunity. Even when you talked about the financial mishap that happened, you had probably another chance to do finances and get back in that same position. So don't ever take a mistake and allow it to be in the story. As I always call it, this is how you learn. You make a mistake, you receive correction, and then you use correction to make the mistake less obstinate. So the example that I talked about with finances. Eventually, after a few times making mistakes in your budget, you're going to learn better budgeting. You're going to be more conscious with your money. You might start even saving money for a rainy day so that you get to the point where you're at the point of not making that mistake with finances. It's okay if you make 10, 20 mistakes. I call my mom at 11 o'clock at night, and I just start the conversation with, "Thank you." She laughs. She said, "What did you realize that I said 10 years ago that you just understood today?" And I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. I ain't got nothing to say. And I tell her, well, remember that time when I was 16 years old and I was real rebellious and you said something and I wasn't listening and it just hit me today. I just had to say thank you. Sometimes we make the mistakes. Sometimes we get the guidance, but sometimes we don't understand it. So it takes us time sometimes to understand things. There are things my mom said that I get right away. Now I start telling her, you know what, I appreciate you saying what you say. I don't understand what you're saying, but one day I'm going to tell you thank you. Because it may take me a few life experiences to get there to really appreciate what things are doing. But most importantly, learn from your mistakes. So I take every opportunity to learn and reflect. And that's another reason why mentorship is so important. Because with mentorship, you have the ability to be able to really learn from mistakes and have somebody trust that you can share that with. Because mentorship is about coaching. It's about training and advice. This is the person that you can go to really share your case. Say, hey, I really blew this and I don't really understand why. But can you help me give me any kind of insight from your perspective that might help me to be better? And after kind of talking about it, you're going to probably learn what you did from your mistakes or get a different viewpoint of looking things that you never ever considered. And with that, they're there to help motivate you, give you direction, but ultimately help you to find success. And this is why it's so important that when I think of mentorship, you can mentor anybody. All you have to do is find somebody that you really want to help. It doesn't have to be a formalized program. It's just saying, hey, brother, I see you. I like you. I'm going to mentor you. And people will appreciate that. They'll appreciate you taking the time and investment in them and seeing something in themselves. One of my favorite quotes that Oprah says is that a mentor is someone who allows you to see the hope inside yourself. And that's mentorship at the core thing. I see something special in you. I want to be able to take the time to invest it and cultivate it so that it becomes the best that it can be. Now, my takeaway for you, the keys for propelling others: share your lessons and your failures. Bought sense is better than borrowed sense. So you sharing it with other people means a lot and helps them in their trajectory and the path they're going in their life. But also, it helps for you to learn as well because you'll be able to articulate and really reflect through sharing. Help those in your network. Help those in your community. Just find somebody. You can play a part in improving the communities that you want to see improved by just taking the effort of maybe 10, 20 minutes, 30 minutes out of your week to go talk to somebody. Or just taking every moment that you can in any moment to just share information and wisdom. Mentor someone else who's following your footsteps. Find somebody that takes an interest in things you're interested in. They say in the corporate world, don't ever have lunch alone. Take it as an opportunity to go find people that inside your department or division or such like that, or go take time to meet with other entrepreneurs. Go take time with people that you're interested in to go learn from them. And take that opportunity to be able to share experiences. And mentorship, a lot of people think it's a one-way thing. But I found from my program, being able to mentor students pours back into me 10 times more than me giving to them. They think they learn from me. They think they learn from me all the time. I learn from them. They challenge my thought process on things. And if I hadn't taken the time to actually mentor somebody that's following in my footsteps, I wouldn't grow as a person. So in that, I found not only fulfillment, but I also find my own growth and personal growth for myself. Use those opportunities in mentorship to get feedback so that you can learn and develop and grow from yourself. So leave you with these two things to think about. This is one of my favorite quotes my mom always say. Be the change you want to see in the world. Anything that you want to change, anything that you want to see improve, go do it. Go be the leader. People are looking for you as their inspiration to do things that they want to do. And people are inspired by just the purpose of your life and things that you do. The purpose of life is not to be happy. It's to be useful, to be honorable, to be compassionate, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. And so with that, thank y'all so much for attending. Any questions about anything covered?
Mr. Fontenot, do you have any relatives that went to PV?
I do. Yeah, families all across Houston. So yeah, I have a lot of family that went to PP.
I went to school with Fontenot. They weren't from Baytown though. It was a little country town so small I can't even remember it.
Dayton?
What Dayton?
Liberty?
Liberty.
Yeah, that's my family. Dayton, Liberty, right 30 minutes outside of Baytown. All across Houston, Louisiana too. So yeah.
I got a question. When you talked about teamwork and building organizations, how do you maneuver in this this time of entrepreneurs wanting to do everything by themselves, and that's not the cool, but it's the thing of being able to say you did it all by yourself. So how are you able to find those team members if entrepreneur and doing everything yourself is like
The thing. So the way that I look at it is that you find people with similar heart, similar vision, and similar passion. It's cool to do things by yourself, but let's be honest. You didn't wipe your behind when you were 1 year old. So everybody that talks about being self-made, or I did it all by myself, definitely forget all the people that helped it. If you want to go build a house and you went to Home Depot and you bought supplies, somebody told you what to go find or to probably help you. Somebody may help you find that aisle to go find the stuff, even if you knew everything you needed. That's help. Don't forget that. So find the people that really articulate the same vision, that want to achieve the same things that you want to, that have a goal. Because what you'll find is you have a vision and you find someone else has a vision, your visions are probably intertwined. They find different ways. That's why partnership's so important. So you find the right partner, because not everybody's going to be the partner that you're looking for, but when you find the right partner in the zone of excellence that they need to be in, with the zone of excellence towards your vision and a mutually shared vision, that's where you find success. And the always thing I keep in mind is that you can go very far alone. You can be successful. But if you want to make a monumental impact, you're going to build a team. Anybody
How
else?
long have you been doing this?
I've been doing the program for the last year. So we just made a year in this past July.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you visited 17 countries. What countries stood out to you the most and had the most impact on you?
Whew. Dubai. Dubai is very interesting culture-wise. And the reason why I said that is because one of the things that I thought that was very impactful and beneficial was that when you save your money at the end of the year, the culture is that 10% of your savings that you save has to go out to somebody else less fortunate. So they have a reciprocal culture of giving back to people and supporting their own. And they also make sure to take good care of each other. And so it's very important for them to show like respect and those things towards each other. But that one principle in my life changed the way I look at a lot of things. How many times you want to save money, you don't want to help somebody that's begging in the street? But imagine how many times we could prevent crime if I took just 10% of my savings that ain't gonna hurt me because it's savings in the beginning. I'm not supposed to be touching it anyways, and giving it back to somebody else that needs help. And I've started adopting that own principle in my life, and people are like, "Wow, why did you do this?" I'm like, "Because I want you to do the same thing for somebody else." And by that, we're giving back to supporting the community. Now, one way I like to think about it is, what if we took 10% of our savings and invested in a mutual fund that we go invest other businesses in? Can we build Black Wall Street again?
Yeah.
Same principle, different context.
So how long has the foundation been in place?
Last year, so
Last year.
July 2016.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And this is our 11th year.
it's
Oh yeah, started out pretty good. And then bumps it.
oh yeah, especially in this political climate.
Right now, it's really one of the worst times to be a nonprofit.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Because of the administrations that we have in Washington and all the cuts that are coming, it's affecting all of the cities. The city of Austin, Travis County, all of the different people who generally contribute to nonprofits to do the things that we do. So the funds are being cut from Washington, or the idea of the thought of funds being cut, where they haven't really materialized, and all of a sudden, these cities and counties are starting to look at their budgets and go, "Oh, we may not get this, so who's going to take the hit first?"
Right.
It's going to be those that give nonprofits. So it's a noble cause. I love it. I wouldn't want to do anything else right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it has.
Was one of the scholarship winners, and after they received their scholarship award, she was trying to hold back the tears, like I could see. And later on that night, she sent me this long text message, and I guarantee you that text message had me bawling.
Yeah.
And she said to me, "You know, I couldn't really hold my tears in. When I got home, I started bawling, crying, because my mother. I'm a child of 14, number 13, first to go to school out of all my family. My mother has been saving for the last 3 years to get me an iPad. She doesn't even know what an iPad is. And I told her she didn't need to, but she only saved half the money after 3 years, and she kept promised me that she was going to make sure I had everything I needed to be successful in school. And I cried on that phone when I told her I won the scholarship, and I won an iPad, and it meant that my sister now had a computer for her school. And that meant just the most to me. And because of that, I'm going to be your best student. And I just bawled and cried, man. It was worth it. That made me want to go work 10 times harder.
That's it.
And a month later, she developed multiple sclerosis. So this student, she's 19, developed MS, chained to a bed in a hospital for about 2.5 months. Got all the way behind all the schoolwork. Mentors and I took turns visiting her in the hospital, getting her things that she needed. Family came in town. We got to meet all of her family. We got to meet like almost all the brothers and sisters. And we took time just trying to be there and support her, help her to learn her new lifestyle, being kind of in a wheelchair, not really being as mobile and such like that. And at the end of the semester, after being 3 months behind, she completed all of her schoolwork in a month and averaged a B. She texted me and cried, and she said, "You know what? I didn't make an A this semester." I said, "Honey, you should have been dropped out of school. There ain't no reason you should have finished the semester this semester. What you did is beyond remarkable." And she responded back, she said, "If it wasn't for the foundation, it wasn't for the mentors and your support, I wouldn't have done it." That's my why. That's why I fight every day.
That's it. The why.
Well, you might want to remind her that Barbara Jordan also had multiple sclerosis.
Thank you for reminding me. I need to tell her that.
You know, the word of encouragement. I have a son. Basically, the reason why I'm here is because I have a 23-year-old son. And I've been to 2 sessions, and both of them have empowered me to be a better dad for him. You know, that's why I'm here. But we do appreciate this time that you've given us.
I appreciate y'all for coming. Thank y'all so much for allowing me to share.
If you can get this in front of me.
Absolutely incredible. So there is a survey that we're giving.